This is Marty Stewart with SeminarSecrets.com. You can hear the complete version of this big seminar interview by going to www.SeminarSecrets.com.
So we're going to go ahead and get this call started and underway again. Many of you jumped on here to learn some great information about marketing. I'm going to try to give that to you this evening, some things that will change how you do business online, and the strategies that we're going to talk about are pretty simple, quite honestly. I mean, no matter what level that you're involved with at the Internet right now, whether you're a beginner or whether you're an advanced person, these strategies will apply to you. They work. And we're going to utilize our own sites as examples to explain to you why these work, and we're going to talk about some of the results that we received from utilizing these strategies. And so we're going to kind of keep it to 60 minutes, but I'm going to tell you this. The next 60 minutes will be a lot of content, a lot of information. Make sure that you do take notes on this particular call. And again, as always, this is brought to you part of our big seminar that we're having in the next few weeks, actually about 3 weeks to be precise. Actually, in 22 days, on the 22nd, we're going to start the big seminar, and at that point, we're just going to have a huge, huge weekend. Some of the top marketers in the world coming together to teach you for 3 full days how you can literally build a successful online business in no time at all. So we're going to tell you more about that later on in the call. But, you know, what I want to do right now is I just kind of want to get into some of the strategies, and I want to talk about them and explain them to you so you can start implementing these immediately after the call. I can tell you this. If you implement everything I talk about today, you will double, triple, quadruple your sales within just a few short days. So let's get into it. Let's talk about audio. As many of you know, I'm a big, big audio fan. You know, we have a service called Audio Generator that's owned by myself, Alex Mondosian, and Rick Raditz, and you know, we've certainly helped make audio very popular on the Internet today. And the fact is, most people just don't get it. And I'm going to be very blunt. They don't understand it. They think it's a fad. They think it's some cutesy little trick. It's not. This is audio itself is the most powerful marketing technique that I've ever utilized and have ever utilized on the Internet. Now, with that being said, I've also found out that the way that I've been utilizing audio in the past has been 100% dead wrong. Now, you have to think about this. I've tried audio in a lot of different ways, some of them that you guys probably haven't even thought of yet. But you know what? I've been doing it wrong for so long. And let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you how people were using audio and are people still using audio. Most people that have embraced audio on the Internet are utilizing audio to simply be an information device, meaning people can click a button, they can then hear all about how great their product or service is. They can click another button, hear all about their features and benefits. They click another button, they can hear all about their bonuses. And that's fine, and that is a use of audio, but it is not the primary use of audio on the Internet. Okay, what you need to understand is that you need to figure out, even though this is a different media for people to utilize when they come to your website, not everyone knows enough to click an audio button. They do not know it's an audio button. Therefore, some people won't click it. Some people don't want to click it. You know what? The one thing that we've always recommended is to use permission-based audio. And when I say permission-based audio, I'm saying is that people have to opt in to click that button. Well, I've discovered that that is not the way to go. I'm saying that let it play, and if they don't like it, that's tough. And that's what I've found to work the best. Why? Because I watched my sales increase utilizing unpermission-based audio as opposed to permission-based audio. So, for example, how do you use that? Well, let me give you some websites that we've used this on. First of all, many of you have seen one of my products, and if you haven't, here it is. It's called eBook Generator. It's an ebook software. That's not the purpose why I'm bringing you to this page, though. eBook Generator, what I did is I redesigned the actual landing page quite some time ago. I believe it was about 2.5, maybe 3 months ago or so. Now, here's what happened. I knew this particular page will cover a lot of our call and some of the things I want to explain to you. If you go to that ebook generator site, you're going to notice something. It's a very, very small entrance page. It's a landing page. Now, many marketers on the Internet, for example, Jonathan Mizell calls it a name squeeze page. Stephen Pierce calls it an accelerated affiliate sales model. Alex Mondosian calls it a shy yes page. Paul Culligan calls it a list grab page. I don't care what you call it. It's basically, here's what it does. I don't know who started it first, but whoever it was, I'd like to thank them to this day. But the fact is, the way this works is a person has no other choice but to sign up for them to give me their name and their email address before they see my sales letter. Okay? Again, they sign up. They have to give me their first name, their email address before they can actually see my sales letter. On this particular page, if you go up to the top and you click on the Register Now button, it says, claim your free video and receive instant information. A little box will pop up. If you click the Learn More button on this page, again, it says, claim your free video and receive instant information. It forces a person to give me their name and email address. They're not going to get past this page without it. What's the bribe? Very simply, it's a free video of my software. Now, if they're interested, if they're truly interested, let me rephrase that. If they're truly interested in getting more information about an ebook software, they're going to give me their name and their email address. If they're not interested and they're just essentially tire kickers, they're not going to do it. You see what I mean? So again, what we're doing is this is a weeding out process. Everyone has always preached up and down that, well, I want everyone to see my sales letter. Why? Everyone's not even qualified to see your sales letter. You see, the Internet, it's about qualifying people either when they get to your sales letter with a headline, you can qualify them immediately, or qualify them before they get to the sales letter. And that's what we're doing here. They give us their first name, their email address, and then they finally see my sales letter once they click that button, as well as I've captured their name and email address, and I followed up with them. Now, one of the most important features on this page is, yes, the text does say what this whole product is about and some simple tips on it. But the most powerful piece on this page, it says, listen to our audio message. So when they come to the page initially, the audio started playing, and, I don't have my speakers turned up right now, but it says something essentially to this. Thank you for coming by ebook generator. Claim your free video, enter in your first name, your email address, and click the Send My Video button right now. Something to that effect. Now, and then it tells them they'll be transported to our sales letter or our information immediately after clicking the Submit button. So we're telling them, what to do. Okay? Write that down. The purpose of audio on the Internet is to tell a person what to do. That's the number one reason for audio. That's the number one reason for audio, is to tell people what to do when they come to your website. The second reason for audio is to tell them what to expect. Those are the two, if you want to call them laws of audio, as far as what works best. A, tell them what to do. B, tell them what to expect after they've done what you told them. So now you're framing a person. Now, let me explain to you the concept of framing. Now, Mark Joyner has talked about this. People that have any kind of psychology background know a little bit about this, but framing is this. You see, if I sent you an email that said, I just bought XYZ product, I wasn't really impressed with it. In fact, they probably charged too much for it, and also I found it complicated to use, and, it really wasn't what it's cracked up to be, but here's the link anyway. You can go ahead and look at it, but, I really don't suggest it. Now, if you click that link, what is your expectation when you get to that page? It's not a very high expectation, because why? You framed that page that they're going to click through in a very poor way. Obviously, this person, if they wasn't trying to sell them on this product. So they had a very low expectation when they got there. chances are that person ordering something was probably not very good. So that's one way. The second way of framing is like we're doing on ebook generator. Quickly discover why thousands of people from all over the world chose ebook generator for their ebook publishing needs. And then, we'll prove it to you through our video. I want you to do this right now is simply fill in your first name, your primary email address, and click the Send My Video button now. I'm going to send you a video 100% absolutely free, and then I'm going to give you all the information on the very next page. So look real closely for your email, and you're going to get all the information in just a couple seconds. So go ahead, again, fill your first name, your email address, and then click the Send My Video button. You're going to be amazed as far as how simple this software is to use. You see, I just framed a person, so there's an expectation. I kind of built it up a little bit, not too much hype, but I have given them a positive a reason to go ahead and follow my actions as well, too. So I framed it in a good way so when they get to the page, they have a high level of expectation. Now, see, the reason, let me also explain to you some other factors behind this concept just on this site alone. The concept behind this site alone is this, is that I know that, for example, I'm just going to use some conversion rates here for you on this particular website. Our conversion rate without this page is about 3%, okay? Roughly about 3%, meaning out of 100 people that come to the site, normally without this page, if they just came straight to the sales letter, our conversion rate would be about 3%. That means that 97% of the people still aren't coming. Now, if you went to the sales letter, you would notice on the left-hand side I have a place for them to sign up to get their free video. Now, I know that converts between 12 to 13%, meaning that on a normal sales letter, if we had our normal sales letter up there, 12 to 13% of the people would sign up to get their free video. That's pretty good. That means I'm capturing a little bit more of those 97% that didn't buy, but yet I'm still only selling 3% of the people. Now, here's what happens with this page. By putting this, let's call it an in-between page, whatever phrase you want to utilize it. By putting this page up, we're getting, now listen to these figures real quick, 46% of the people to go ahead and fill out the form. That's 46% of the people to go ahead, fill out the form on this page, and give us their name and email address. So how many more email addresses did I capture? Well, before I was only getting 12 to 13%. Now I'm getting 46%. We're talking about, 25 more email addresses out of 100 we're getting because, actually 25, 35, I guess. Almost 30 email addresses, let's just call it. More email addresses than out of 100. So think about that. Again, 46% from this site or 12 to 13%. Which would you rather have? But some of you may be saying, well, Armand, though, but that means that 54% of the people that come to this page, they don't give you their email address and they just leave and they never see your sales letter. Yeah. So? But the 46% that do are extremely targeted. You see what I mean? So I'm only allowing the people that are targeted to see the site. If I allow anyone else to see the site, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, all these other people not seeing the site. I want only the people that are qualified to see the site to see it. This way I'm going to have a higher conversion rate. Now, when I did this, my first reaction was, oh, man, I'm going to have a massive decrease in the amount of orders that we're getting. Because right now I'm only getting 3 out of 100. Well, you know what? I'm still getting 3 out of 100 as far as the overall conversion rate, meaning out of all the people that come to the main page, I'm still converting 3% of those. Now, here's where the kicker is. Before I was only capturing 12 to 13%. Now I'm getting 46% of the emails that come into that site. Now, here's what happens. Is that now I've got all their email address. Now I can institute a follow-up system that's going to follow up with this person and go ahead and try to get them to purchase, and we're going to send them a series of emails. Now, we've recently just switched our series of emails because of a friend of mine who many of you know, Marlon Sanders, suggested that we went to a daily follow-up system. So we're testing out a daily follow-up system, meaning for the first 7 to 10 days, we're now following with them every single day. Do you see how that works? Why? Because it's fresh in their mind. Why? Because they've just seen our video. Why? Because we're reminding them of our guarantee. Why? Because they went through these extra steps. And we're converting off of those. So again, we're still converting 3% up front, and then we're converting at least between 5 and 7% of the people that we just got their email address. So overall, what are we getting? Well, we're getting a huge number of people that I wouldn't have gotten any other way. Why? Because we stood up and said, give me your name and give me your email address before you can actually see our sales letter. 2, we had audio telling them what to do. And 3, we instituted a follow-up program in order to follow up with the person. So we did all those things, and that's why this campaign is working so well. Well, some of you may be saying, Armand, well, if it's working so well, how come you don't have it on any of the other sites? Well, if you notice the sites I've recently launched, you know, like BigSeminar, for example, it does. And you know what? Many people would have thought, well, if you're just limiting to the people that fill out the name and email address, you're not getting a lot of people seeing the BigSeminar site. You're right. I'm not getting as many people seeing my site as I possibly could. But you know, I've had a higher conversion rate than any other of my BigSeminar websites that I've ever had. I have more people coming to this BigSeminar than I've ever had. And you know what? It works. So it works on a small ticket item, which is $97, and it works just as effectively on a high ticket item, which is $1,797. So what does that say, and should you do? Well, I'll tell you what you should do. You know, again, we're using audio, so I'm going to tell you what to do. Start looking at this model and start looking at the ways that I'm doing it. Start looking at the ways that other people are doing this, that are doing it on the Internet. And so the question also may come up, and I thought of these questions myself before I tried this. I was like, well, if this method works so well and everyone's talking about it, how come most people don't do it? For the same reasons that I didn't do it for the longest time, is because we were scared. Most people are scared that I'm going to turn away all my visitors, and therefore I'm not going to get as much conversion. My sales are going to drop, and all these other, you know, crazy reasons for not going ahead and just making the decision to do it. You know, those are all bogus reasons. The results way outweigh the reasoning for not doing this. It's amazing. It's the most amazing thing, the best discovery I've ever had. What I'm doing right now is I'm in the process of actually converting every single one of my websites over to the same model, meaning that the person has to give me their name and email address before they see my sales letter. Why? Because, A, I'm building a huge list. Think about this. Just on this site alone, we've captured about, I think the number is, I'm just going to take a rough guess off the top of my head, I think it's about 6,500 to 7,000 emails right now, just off the ebook generator site. Just off that site alone, we're collecting that many email addresses over the course of the last couple months. Now, if I already done the numbers on this, and this is what you've convinced me even more, if I converted all my websites over to this model and I was converting at the same rate, meaning that I was capturing the same number of email addresses, I know that I'm going to get between, anyways between 800 to 1,000 email addresses a day. If you could build your email list between 800 to 1,000 emails a day, that's new 30,000 roughly email addresses every single month. What would stop you from doing it? Well,
You have just listened to a portion of this BigSeminar interview. To get the complete version, simply go to www.seminarsecrets.com. Find out how you can attend the next Internet Marketing BigSeminar. And for a very special offer you can't refuse, visit www.seminarsecrets.com.